what to do with Nkunku, and how to get Mo Salah next week. Welcome to the Gianni YouTube show. Hope you guys are well. You're looking forward to game week 3. I'm proper excited, and I've got loads of different directions I could go in, and I'm going to talk you through each and every one of them in today's video. Do not go anywhere. And before we start, guys, if you want to support the channel, hit that like button, but also hit the subscribe button as well, and follow my journey throughout the season with that notification bell on as well. So look, let's have a look, shall we, at my team. Rather than go through this in detail, I'm going to show you a snapshot of my team, and then we're going to see all the different possible options I've got, not just planning for this week, but what's really important this week is how we plan for game week 4, because game week 4 comes with maybe Mo Salah. Mo Salah in the team needs a little bit of surgery, and having 2 frees could be an option too. So look, it's Henderson in goal, the back 3 of Trent, Johnson and Robinson. I know that's not optimal. A midfield 5 that includes Son, Jota, Rodgers, Gordon. We like them, but Nkunku too. Ooh. And then Isak, Haaland up front. The bench of Solanke, Hall, Barco. Which players are a problem in this 11? Johnson's a problem. Is far from optimal. Nkunku's a problem, far from optimal. Do I address those this week? Maybe I do. Or can I wait? And let's have a look at the repercussions of waiting and holding my transfer. So look, as things stand, I've got the captaincy on Haaland, and I've got this 15-man squad. But when we look at that fixture ticker, and shout out Fantasy Football Scout, who allow you to filter the ticker and take game weeks off and filter by difficulty. This is looking at the attack for the next few weeks. I look at it and go, I'm gonna want Liverpool. I'm gonna want Liverpool come game week 4, aren't I? Like, Liverpool, Man United away isn't a bad fixture, but then look at those home fixtures and how do I get Mo Salah in? That's got to be on my mind. So let's see how I might get there, but also, do I need to address the Nkunku issue now? And when we see Nkunku in this 11, straight away you go, is it a 1-point cameo? There is a chance it's a 1-point cameo. There's also a chance he plays 60. Let's see, because the likes of Pedro Neto can't get a huge amount of minutes yet. I don't expect Felix to get a huge amount of minutes yet. We could see Madueke right and Nkunku left, because Mudryk didn't do well on the left when he started in game week 2. And Pedro Neto needs to be careful on his minutes. So there is a chance Nkunku does start versus Palace. Now, I'm sure I'm going to be selling Nkunku soon, but do I want to sell him this week, knowing he's 6.4 million and the replacements I want for him are actually more expensive? Or can I wait a week and then with 2 moves, upgrade him? So look, let's have a look at my potential options. Before we do, a shout out to OneFootball, who support this video. And look, OneFootball is a football app that I use, honestly, first thing in the morning, every morning, on a daily basis for all my football news, whether it's Premier League or Serie A or some of the other top leagues. It's brilliant for football news. It's brilliant for video clips. It's brilliant for scores. OneFootball for me is the home of football, and you've got to use it. It's free and easy to use. Like, download it. There's a link in the description. I think you'll genuinely love the OneFootball app. Guys, if you want to show support for the video, please do hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel. Let's crack on though and look at my options this game week, because the first couple involve a 4 million defender at Aston Villa that, in theory, should be starting, because Matty Cash is injured and they haven't bought a right back yet. Let's keep our eyes on that transfer window though, because they are linked with a new right back. And if they get one, Nedeljkovic is a non-starter. But if he is a starter at 4 million for the next 4 games, he's a good option, and I could bring him in this week, and 2 of my options centre around him. So option number 1, and let's go through these, is to sell Lewis Hall. It gives me 0.5 in the bank. I can then upgrade Nkunku next week. Option 2 would be to sell Barco. Do I need to sell Barco? Probably not, because he can just rot my bench till I wildcard. That doesn't leave me any money for upgrades. Do I like these 2 options? I don't hate them. Do I think for my team I can make do with a slimline defence until I wildcard and actually invest my funds and have 2 transfers next week and think about replacing Nkunku and bringing in more upside players? Probably. So I can't actually see myself going with these 2 options. It's probably around 5% chance. So let's move on then to option number 3. Option 3 is Nkunku out straight away. And if Nkunku comes out straight away in one move, Smith Rowe would come in. That leaves me money in the bank. But it doesn't give me the option of getting to, say, a Salah next week. And then option 4, this is really interesting. Option 4 is centered around rolling the transfer. Now, you've seen my 11, And my 11 doesn't look like a team where you would want to roll the transfer. My 11 looks like a team which needs a transfer or 2 or 3. Hell, some people could see my team and think, consider the wild card. And I did consider the wild card. And you can see my wild card video on this channel. In fact, there's a link to watch it, hopefully on screen right now-ish. But at the end of the video too. So look, if you want to check that wildcard draft out, it looks amazing. And only 5 or 6 of those players are in my actual team. But I think the wildcard will be more powerful for me in a few weeks' time. So rolling the transfer allows me 2 free moves next week. Now, in those 2 moves, I could go Son and Isak, for example, out to Salah and João Pedro. I could go Nkunku and Gordon out to 2 of Eze, Szoboszlai and Barco. I really think those moves strengthen my team. I think to be able to get to Salah, to be able to possibly get rid of some dead wood, if they're dead wood, let's see, Isak, Gordon. And to do it all without taking hits and to do it without using a wild card, I think strengthens my case to roll the transfer this week. Now, Nkunku's a bit of a problem, and one of these scenarios involves holding Nkunku. If I go Son and Isak out, Nkunku's still on my team. I'm going to want to get rid of him soon. That's fine. Maybe that's the week after the transfer. Or I sell Nkunku and Gordon, the second option by rolling. And if I do that, yes, I can't reach Salah, but I can jump on midfielders that are really, I think, good buys. So Eze, I absolutely love. I know he's been mass sold, and I know he's dropping in price. That's fine for me. Like, Eze's going to be a really good option, and his fixtures from game week 4 are very nice indeed. Szoboszlai is a cheaper route than Salah, of course it is. 6.5 million, plays 90, and playing now as the number 10. The other front 3 at Liverpool are all getting subbed off, even Salah at times. Szoboszlai's a 90-minute man. He's going to get points galore. Genuinely, I think he's a great shout. He ain't going to match Salah, but he still gives me that triple Liverpool for game week 4 and 5 fixtures, which are brilliant. And then Barco is someone that doesn't have the best 4-5, but there's a really good run from game week 6, so I could jump on him early. So they're 2 really, really nice options. And guys, I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do. So look, let's just recap. The option of selling Hall or Barco to get Nedeljkovic, I can't see my doing. I think I'm gonna limp through on the back line. So I'm gonna put a 2.5% chance on both those things. The option of going in Nkunku to Smith Rowe, 10% chance I do it. I can't see me doing it, but 85% sure I'm going to be rolling that transfer. So let's have a look how my team would look if I rolled the transfer. So if I roll that transfer this week and Son and Isak come out, how does this team look with Salah and João Pedro? Yeah, it looks very, very nice. How does that team look with, I don't know, let's say Eze and Szoboszlai instead of Nkunku and Gordon? Yeah, I think it looks good. But if we go back to how I'm actually set now for this week, I might lose something. I might lose something on the field. And am I okay with that? I think I am. Because let's recap. Henderson in goal, fine. I knew what I was getting into with the set and forget option. On wildcard, I'd change him. Trent, good fixture. I could play Lewis Hall or Johnson. I've got Johnson in there because I think he's got slightly better clean sheet odds, and I slightly fancy him in terms of actually starting. Lewis Hall is probably a 50-50 call for a start. Johnson is likely to start. And then Robinson, nice. A 0-0 in that fixture full of Ipswich would be lovely. The midfield, Son versus Newcastle could be really, really good. And let me show you guys this graphic of Son playing in game week 2, because he is playing here as a number 9 without Solanke. Let's assume Solanke's out. So much better. When Son plays in the Odegaard position, where he did in game week 1, he's still a good asset because he's Son. Son's always going to get good FPL points. He's an elite finisher. But I don't want chalk on his boots. And Postecoglou asks his wingers to have chalk on their boots because he asks his fullbacks, Udogie and Porro, to be super high, but also super central. They don't overlap like most teams. Therefore, the wide forwards, Brennan Johnson, Odegaard, or someone he's there, so wide. But when Son's down the middle, look what he did against Everton. He could do similar damage against Newcastle, and I fancy this game to have goals. I really hope it does, because I'm not going to have a defender from these two teams. Loads have, say, a Porro and a Newcastle defender. And I'm going to have Gordon, Son, and Isak. That could be a 3-all. If it is, I'm laughing. So I hope it's a you score 2, we score 3 approach by both managers. And if history is anything to go by, this fixture has goals, especially at St James's Park, when Newcastle have actually been really, really good against Spurs in recent years. But I think Son could have some joy, and they continue off their game week 2 form, which was brilliant. Jota, we know, is a great option. Yes, he won't get 90, that doesn't matter. And Nkunku we've discussed, and it's a huge risk to go in with him. But just in case he does start, I've got to risk it. And if he doesn't, he's going to come off the bench for a 1-pointer. And I just have to suck it up this week. Because yes, Nkunku to Smith Rowe this week is a better shout for my team this week, but not for next. I need that flexibility to if I'm rolling the transfer. Rodgers, I've been really unlucky not to have points from him so far. Great pick at 9. Best Nkunku replacement, by the way, Rodgers. It's gone up in value now at 5.1 million. Gordon, could have goals that fixture. So Gordon and Isak together. Yes, please. Let's hope it is a 3-all. And then Haaland is my captain, and we have to talk a little bit about captaincy, don't we? If I owned Palmer this week, I'd be genuinely tempted, a home fixture versus Palace. But I still think I rank Haaland at number 1. And then, of course, there's the Saka dilemma, if you own Saka. And there's a very good chance, if you don't own Haaland, you own Saka, Salah, and maybe Palmer. You'll own 2 of the 3. So let's rank them, shall we? I have Haaland as my number 1 captain choice. I have Palmer as my number 2. I have Saka at 4. I'm going to go Salah at 3. Right? I think I rank Salah slightly higher than Saka for captaincy. And again, Salah's got a good history of going to Old Trafford and getting points. Saka against Brighton at home on paper, pre-season, you go, that's a good fixture. But we've seen how well Brighton have looked. Look, Saka's looked great too. But Brighton might be a more tricky fixture than we're giving it credit for. So Haaland, for me, is still the best game week captain option. He's flying at the minute. The full pre-season really matters for him. And then on my bench, I look at Solanke and go, oh, if you were fit or if you are fit, and I still don't know the answer to that as I record this. And the Postecoglou press conference will be key, but I think there's a very good chance we see Solanke game week 4. So look, the bench is thin. The transfers are needed, but I'm 85% sure I'm rolling the transfer. And it's with a view. It's with a view of getting Salah in next week and João Pedro for Isak and Son. Or maybe Isak and Son really impress me game week 3 and I go, no, I need to keep both these guys. Salah can wait. I'm going to cover Liverpool with Szoboszlai and I'm going to move Nkunku on. Should have done that weeks ago, Gianni. And get Szoboszlai. And then I'm going to move Gordon on because I don't want double Newcastle attack anymore and get Eze in. Good options. International break. Lots could happen. If you can roll the transfer this week, I think do it. There will be a ton of wildcards next week. I don't think I'll have to do it because I'll have 2 free transfers. That might be the difference between me wildcarding and not. But again, it'll be something I explore. If you want to see what a game week 3 wildcard looks like, go and check out the video that's on screen now because I had loads of fun making it. Guys, as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, but please do subscribe to the channel and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.